You think you are listening. You nod. You make eye contact. You say, at the right moments. But inside your head, you are not listening. You are preparing your response. You are comparing their story to your story. You are waiting for a gap so you can jump in and say, that reminds me of the time when I. That is not listening. That is waiting. And waiting is the opposite of receiving. Listening is the willingness to be changed by what you hear. You are not willing to be changed. You are willing to wait for your turn to speak. That is the American cognitive paradox of listening. Here is the lie, that listening is a passive act, a silence, between your own sentences. It is not. Listening is an active, vulnerable, exhausting act of letting someone else's reality temporarily replace your own. That is why you avoid it, because letting someone else's reality in means admitting that your reality might be incomplete, and your ego, as we have established, hates being incomplete. So you interrupt, you redirect, you finish their sentences, you turn their confession into your anecdote. And then you wonder why you feel disconnected, even in conversation. You are not disconnected, you are absent. You left the conversation to rehearse your own next line. No one can connect with a ghost who is already writing their own script. Now watch your own reaction. You are already thinking, but I am a good listener. People tell me things. That defensiveness is the second layer. And this is where elite psychology deploys the listening gap research from the Harvard Business Review. The average person speaks at about 125 words per minute. The brain can process about 400 words per minute. The brain can process about 400 words per minute. That gap, 275 words per minute of spare processing power, is where the trouble lives. You are not using that spare power to listen more deeply. You are using it to prepare your response, to judge, to plan, to wonder. Real listening requires using that spare power to hold space, not to fill it. The best listeners are not the ones with the fastest comebacks. They are the ones who use the spare bandwidth to ask, what is this person feeling right now? What are they not saying? You have never trained that muscle. You have trained the muscle of rapid response. That muscle is not listening. That muscle is competitive conversation. And competition, as we have learned, is the enemy of connection. Here is the elite psychological mechanism that will transform every relationship you have: reflective listening. The practice of paraphrasing back what you heard before you respond. Not I hear you, that is a placeholder. Actual reflection. So what I am hearing is that you felt dismissed in that meeting, and you are still angry about it 2 days later. That sentence does 3 things. First, it proves you were actually listening. Second, it gives the speaker a chance to correct you. No, not angry, disappointed. That correction is not failure. That correction is deeper intimacy. Third, it slows the conversation down. Slowness in a culture of speed is the ultimate gift. The person who reflects before responding is the person everyone wants to talk to. Not because they are clever, because they are safe. Safety, not cleverness, is the currency of real human connection. The American cognitive paradox of listening is this. You have been treating conversation as a transaction. You speak, I speak. We exchange information. Conversation is not a transaction. Conversation is a co-creation. The meaning is not in the words. The meaning is in the space between the words. That space is built by listening. You have been filling the space with your own voice. That is why the space feels empty. Stop filling. Start holding. The person you are listening to does not need your advice. They do not need your story. They need your attention. Full, undivided, non-judgmental attention. That attention is rare. It is also free. You have been hoarding it for yourself. Give it away. You will not run out. Attention is the only resource that grows when you spend it. Here is your test. Tomorrow, in your next conversation, you will not give any advice. You will not share any personal story. You will only ask questions and reflect back what you hear. That is it, the entire conversation. If they ask for your opinion, say, "I am still listening. Tell me more." Most of you will fail at this within 2 minutes. You will feel the urge to jump in, to solve, to relate. That urge is not helpful. That urge is the addiction to being seen as smart. You would rather be smart than present. Choose present. The person in front of you does not need a smart person. They need a present person. Be present. It is harder than being smart. That is why almost no one does it. That is also why the person who does it is unforgettable. Now for the buried layer. At exactly 1 minute and 44 seconds into this video, there is a single frame of 2 people sitting face to face. One is speaking. The other has their mouth closed. Not frozen, just closed. The closed mouth is not empty. It is full of the words they are not saying. The the no, the me too, the me too, the let me tell you about my day. They are holding those words. That holding is listening. Most of you blinked and thought, that looks awkward. That awkwardness is the discomfort of silence. The silence is not awkward. It is the room where the other person gets to be fully heard. Go back. Find the closed mouth. Notice that the speaker is still talking. They are not waiting for a response. They are finally being allowed to finish. That finishing is rare. That finishing is refish. Come back for video number 36. We're going to talk about the paradox of advice, why giving solutions is almost never what anyone needs, but only if you are willing to close your mouth for one entire conversation and just listen, rewind, or scroll. The closed mouth is still closed. The speaker is still speaking. That is the sound of a bridge being built. Stay on the bridge.